Yo, what up guys, beside you here. This is a champion guide or champion spotlight for an epic champion you will find in the Bannerlords faction right here. And this champion is not new. She's been around since 2021, but I've never really had a need or a use for her until now. Yesterday, during this faction war hard mode where we have to go dust up our roster and look for champions that can help us beat that hard mode of faction wars, I decided to use this champion and she served me well. I was like, why haven't I talked about her? Why haven't I hyped her so far? It's because she has never really been useful for my account up till today or yesterday. Her name is Ursala the Mourner and she is a void epic champion, and she's best known in raid as one of those champions who can revive your entire team, bring them back to life when they go down. Doesn't matter whether it's one or two of your enemies or of your allies that are down, she will bring them back to life. That's the one thing she's known for. That's the main thing she's known for, and you'll find that skill on her A3 right here. And yeah, that's what you normally use her for. But if you have an Arbiter, if you have a Gogorab, if you have a lot of other revive champions, you might not even need to build or ever use this champion at all in raid. That's why she was left behind for my account. I don't know about you. So why did I decide to use her? Because Bannerlords faction was open yesterday, and that's required me to necessarily have a reviver champion in there, not just a healer, but a reviver champion was needed, and she was the only epic reviver I could use in there instead of the legendary options. So there you go, Ursala the Mourner. And in this video I want to talk about her skills, talk about where you can use her, of course, do some battle tests with her, show her the best way I built her for your, especially for newer players coming into raid who are trying to decide whether she's worth building for your account or not. I'll tell you right now, if you have another reviver who has a revive on 5-turn cooldown, it's on 6-turn cooldown right now. When it's booked, it goes on to a 5-turn cooldown. It's the same revive as a Gogorab. It's the same revive as one of those tanky there's other champions who all the epics that I know of who do AoE revives. They have their revives on a 5-turn cooldown, so there's nothing special. It feels like a legendary revive, but its long cooldown makes it an epic revive. So but she comes in with an increased defense and strengthening buff along with it, and turn meter feel with 75% HP. Normally when they revive, they get 50% HP from other revivers, but she brings a 75% HP. I guess because she's legendary, she's void epic, it makes it a little bit special. Now there's one other kit that when she was launched back in the day, people use this skill a lot, the A2, because of the ability to bring in a negative debuff for the enemies and a positive buff for you. Two things you need from one champion who can make your allies do more damage and make the enemies do less damage to you. That's the decreased attack debuff that she places on the enemies, while at the same time increasing your allies attack with the buff on your allies by 2 turns. So that's one skill that a lot of people found really useful, especially in content like the Hydra, where without decreased attack, those Hydra heads hit so hard. This can also be used for wave content when you want to make sure the enemies don't hit you with their maximum damage. You can place decreased attack on them. You can make an argument that this skill can also be used in content like the arena, but remember it has no turn meter boosting, so she will just do this and not boost your damage dealers. So we prefer champions like the Arbiter who has the turn meter boosting along with the increased attack. Even if there's no decreased attack going along with it, we prefer champions like that who bring a turn meter feel along with their buff. So she doesn't do the turn meter feel on this skill. That's why people prefer to use it in PvE content like the Hydra, or even in Chimera, or even maybe in Clan Boss. But I've never really had a need for this. I think Gogorab also has an increased attack on one of his kits too, right? But she brings both of them, decreased attack and increased attack. So if you're not using her in your account because of the revive, you might want to use her in your teams because of this decreased attack and increased attack buff she brings on one skill. Now the A1 is not that special. It's a 40% chance of decreasing the target's turn meter by 10%. You agree with that? Doesn't work against bosses, and it's just a single target hit. It's not an AoE skill right here, so it's nothing special about this skill. You just want to target one person who has their turn meter almost feel already, then you can target them with this kit and knock them back a little bit. 10% turn meter decrease on that target, which can be boosted to, the chance can be boosted up to a 55% chance, right? Check out her aura right here. This champion was built for Doom Tower battles right here with a whooping 24% speed aura lead in the Doom Tower only. It doesn't apply to Faction Wars or other content. So if you want to use this champion in the Doom Tower, she might be the champion you put in your leader slot. When all your other allies are having 19% speed aura, she comes in as your Doom Tower speed aura lead with 24%, which is higher than the 19% champions we normally use as our speed aura lead in the Doom Tower. So that's all she brings to your account. I'm just going to test her in some battles and show you our gear and our masteries and everything. The battle I'll test her in will only showcase her revive capabilities. So I'll put her in a battle with other champions who are likely to die during wave. So let's just see how she does during that reviving them. Now, being a 5-turn cooldown, it take a while for this revive to come back. That's why you might want to build that really fast. Unfortunately, as you can read from her kit, this champion has no way of sustaining herself, not to talk of sustaining her allies. So she's only interested in bringing them back to life when they die, which is not what you want from a reviver champion. You want your reviver to also doing a little bit of healing or something, right? But no, she just waits for people to die and then she brings them back. All right, this is how I built this champion. This is how I chose to build this champion. You can see from her kit right here, she needs accuracy, she needs speed, and she needs a way of keeping herself alive. I always suggest for newer players coming into the game to build Ursala the Mourner with the fastest gear you have on your account. Your reviver should not be slow. She doesn't have a cleanse or anything like that, but your reviver should not be slow. Your reviver should not be slowest champion on your team. She's not a turn meter booster, but at least it should be a little bit faster than your damage dealers, right? So I was trying to focus on speed, HP, resistance if you want to use it in specific content. Crit rate is not useful on her. I don't know why I got this. Is because the triple speed roll right here giving me up to 25 speed, defense and accuracy. She does need the accuracy, of course. Then I gave her the one set of immortal just to have that heals by 3% every turn. She needs a little bit of weight to keep herself alive, else she will be going down. Imagine your reviver going down. That's the end of the battle for you. So that's why I put this one set on her. Initially on my first build of this champion, I think I have a 2-piece set of immortal on her, but it has been revamped right now for this build. I needed speed also, so I'm going with this speed set, and accuracy on the chest because my accuracy is not enough. I think my accuracy over 400 is too much. I think that's even too much accuracy for a champion who doesn't really need it on her A1. No, she needs it on her A1, she needs it on her A2, but that's not why she's on my team, not because of the decreased attack. So if you do not care about that decreased attack on her A2, you can just forget about accuracy, forget about the accuracy chest, forget about the accuracy banner, and just give her your best HP and defense stats to make her stay alive. I've not seen anybody building this champion in crit damage or crit rates, so you're not going to see me going crit damage on the amulet either, because this is not supposed to be a damage dealer. Her role is support in your teams, and let's try to keep it that way and not try to make a support champion nuke the enemy team by surprise. All right, that's a niche build. So HP on the ring, but too much attack than I need for this champion. Probably gonna steal it and give it to somebody else who needs attack on their build. So that's my total stats. You're looking at up to 57k on the HP. I would love this defense to be higher than this. Defense should be at least 3,000, 4,000 for a support champion like this, so she's not the first to go down. She should be able to tank some of the damage. 309 on the speed. I was trying to hit 300 and I managed to hit 309. You don't want your reviver to be slow, like I said. 250 is fine, 200 is fine, depends on the level you are in the game. And check out the accuracy right there because of that A2 and A1. I guess too much accuracy. So that's how I built her for my account, to be used in Faction Wars hard mode. Faction War hard mode. If you're using her for any other content, you might require less stats than this. All right, for the masteries, you're looking at PvE masteries is what I currently have on her. If you want to go PvP masteries, you might want to go to defense and support 3. PvE, like in general content against the bosses, should contribute a little bit of damage with the War Master. But if you're not going to go against bosses, you don't care about any source of damage coming from this champion, I suggest you go towards the defense tree and give her the mastery that will maybe get some counter attack in there. I've seen some people also going towards the timely intervention because your revivers need timely intervention. Most of them, almost all of them, need timely intervention, so they can just swoop in to heal or revive whenever somebody drops below 25% HP. That's the high that's the most used one. So if you want to check out other mastery recommendation, I suggest you check out lhits.com. You find a mastery like this on the PvE, and you find the other 2 masteries on the PvP levels right here. So you choose which one you want to go with. I don't have any particular masteries. I just want her decrease attack to last a little bit longer and her increase attack to last a little bit longer. I think these are the 2 things I need, and a small chance that a 5% chance that her revive will get its skill, it's decreased by 1 turn. Its cooldown decreased by 1 turn. A small chance, but I'll take that chance, right? So that's what I really cared about right here, and maybe some accuracy in this 3-1 if you're going towards that accuracy build. All right, that's Ursala the Mourner's stats. I will have to suggest other artifacts. I just talked about early game players going full speed. Now, if I wanted to use her for some content where I needed her revive to happen a lot more than normal, I'll go look at reflex set and relentless set. Those are 2 sets that allows your champion get around to their skill a lot faster than expected. There are some other sets like merciless and all that, which are super endgame content, endgame and sets, but we're not going to talk about that right now in this video. Let's just focus on the one we are currently on right now, which is going to be speed, reflex. Anyways, it's time to go into battle with Ursala the Mourner and find out what she can do for me in my team, and see if she can sustain a group of champions who are weak. Yes, they are weak for this battle, level 25 content, and I hope they take some damage, which she is supposed to be the main source of sustain for them. Alright, I always do this test with champions that are like in the beginner phase of raid, where you're seeing that this is just level 25 dragon content, but I hope to come in here and take some damage from the first wave, from the second wave, and see how she can bring them back to life, how she can keep an entire team alive with just a revive. There is no source of healing coming in except they have some life steal coming into them, but let's fight the battles to see if Ursala can keep this team alive or not. I hope she can. There she goes, starting the battle with... What did she start the battle with? Don't tell me this champion, she just used a revive even when nobody is dead. That's another thing that you might not like about her. Now, if somebody goes down, her revive is not available. I didn't know about that. Some champions are smart enough not to use their revive skill when nobody is dead. She is not one of them. She just used the revive skill when obviously nobody was dead, and that means if anybody goes down, we are screwed for the entire 4 more turns. I really want to see if that skill is on cooldown. The revive skill. There you go. No, it's not on cooldown. So what did she start the battle with? I think she just took 2 turns or something. Or was that not a skill? Who plays this increased defense? Oh, that's another champion. Okay, that's not her. I was just confused. Okay, there she is. She did use the revive skill. It's gone. So we have 2 more turns to wait before the revive is back again. I guess that's not too long to wait. I thought it's gonna be away for like entire 4 turns or something, but maybe she did reset the cooldown. She placed the increased attack again. I'm waiting for Cold Hearts to die so we can bring her back to life. Did she just use the revive again? Her passive healing is helping her a little bit, as you can see. But Cold Heart needs healing, but nobody in the team has healing. And nobody's gonna die. Maybe in the second wave somebody goes down and then we get a chance to use our revive. Cold Heart is getting some healings from somewhere. I really need somebody to die so I can see how long it takes Ursala to bring them back to life. And I came over to this higher difficulty content. There you go, Cold Heart. Take some damage. And Cold Heart is healing. Who is giving Cold Heart all this healing? Does she have some crazy artifacts that I do not know of? There she go. Finally, she's down. Since she's the squishiest champion, Ursala is tanky. Everybody is tanky. Increased defense makes us tanky. And the strengthening. Ursala is the one placing the strengthening too, right? Let's not forget about that. Increased defense is all good, but strengthening makes it a little bit stronger for you to not take so much damage. So we have to appreciate her. Now that Cold Heart is dead, how long will it take Ursala to bring Cold Heart back to life? An entire 3 turns. And that's the one reason why people don't use champions like this in raid. They prefer those champions that have a single target revive. Talking about the Rector Drought. So you prefer champions like that who have a single target revive, but their revive is on a lower cooldown. I have a second reviver right there. I forgot. Ursala did not get to bring cooldown back to life. But you get what I mean. There are champions who their single target revive happens more often, like you just saw, than Ursala's revive. Who is going to do the revive now? Ursala? Ursala the Mourner? There she go. Finally, she gets to show us what she can do for our teams by reviving somebody who went down. And this is the only thing she can do for your teams. Except you want to use her for that decreased attack. We can appreciate the fact that she made us take less damage in this battle by making sure the enemies have decreased attack on them. I do have other champions like Terrell in the leader slot right here who also have a decreased attack on his A1, but that's not why he's here. Ursala is going to place decreased attack on the boss. Let's see if she does it. There she go. It also works for bosses. With a decreased attack on this dragon, we're not going to take as much damage as we're supposed to. So bosses in general or content that has decreased attack makes you survive longer, you take less damage from them. That's the real reason why I wanted to showcase this champion, because it seems like we've all forgotten about her. She's been around for a while and we are no longer talking about her because we now have our arbiters, we now have a lot of different revive champions and Korra everywhere. You always have legendary options for revive. But there are times like this when this faction wars will force you to use a epic champion like this, like yesterday when I had to go into that banner lot and fight with Ursala. And I was able to beat that hard mode. See, banner lots hard mode, and Ursala was the one that made it possible because it was going to be a little bit difficult. So I just wanted to showcase her, shine the raise spotlight on her, and tell newer players, if you're looking for a reviver champion, she's still there for you. Like I was saying, I was going to compare her to Gogorab. Which faction does it belong to on Dead Hordes? Because that's the closest one I can compare her to right there. They all have that same revive. Revives all dead allies 25% HP, then heals them by 25%. This heal will happen even if there are no dead allies. So he also uses this skill even when nobody's dead. So they are both in the same boat. There's one other champion who also have a 5-turn revive like that. Is this Siege Hawk? No, it's not Siege Hawk. There's one other one like that. I just saw him today. Where is he? I can't find that one. Claude? Not Claude. I just saw another revival like this before I recorded this video. But anyways, I can't find him right now. But anyways, if you're looking for a revival champion, Ursala is there for you. If you have niche use, but if you have a legendary versions of revival, you might never need this champion for anything. If you have your arbiters, if you have your Ankoras, even if you have a reviver like, who is a legendary reviver that nobody really appreciates much, even if you have an Ugo, most people who have an Ugo don't even bother to use it. Even if it's a passive revive, well, that cannot be true. You will still need an active revive than this. This is what I was looking for. No, it's not him. Aha, I finally found him. Tagoa is not a, it's not a Ogrin tribe. He's from the Ox faction. I was comparing her revive to this one. Revives all dead allies, 30% HP, also shields them. 5-turn. So it just depends on what else they can bring to the team. The important one that she brings the allies back to life with 75% HP. That is higher than all these other Gogorab, higher than Tagoa's revive. But yeah, that's one key thing you can gain from this champion just because of her revive kit. If you bring her into the battle, she will bring your allies back to life and fill their turn meter by 50%. Other revivers did not fill their turn meter, so in a way you can say that she is better than a lot of other revivers, especially if you don't need the other kits that the revivers bring to raid. If you can check out her blessing, she's adding a little bit of damage by weakening the enemies a little bit with cruelty, and then take full advantage of that aura. Yeah, I didn't put any relic on her for now. I just showed you the masteries and build and everything, and just tested her in one battle to showcase her revive capability. I just wanted to shine the spotlight on this champion right now and see that a lot of people will go build her out and enjoy the Bannerlords faction hard mode with her. And if you don't have legendary versions, so you don't struggle too much. Remember, those Bannerlords or this faction wars in general, you have to survive. Everybody has to be alive. So if you've been fighting the faction war without a reviver, this time around you will need a reviver in almost every content right here, and she is one of them that can make the hard mode Bannerlord script a little bit easier for you if you did not use her to get through the normal phase. All right, let me know in the comments what you think about this champion, Ursala the Mourner, where you're currently using her in your account. Was she helpful to you in the early game? is she now useful to you in this end game? I don't know if I'm gonna use her anytime soon, but I know whenever that faction comes up, she will always be one of those champions who is a reviver, even if she has no healing, which is kind of sad. I'll always include her as a reviver for the Banner Lords when I fight through that content. Later, guys, don't forget to like and subscribe for more daily raid Shadow Legends content. If there's any other champion you want me to take if you want me to take a closer look at like this, make sure you drop their name in the comment section. I'll do a detailed guide like this, test them out, build them fully mastered, and showcase what they can do for me in my team or for your team.